Afternoon. Yeah, we're really excited this week. It's a huge week for our program, and it seems kind of surreal that first game's 4 days away. We open Friday night, 4 o'clock with Ball State, and at six o'clock come back and play UTSA, and then third game of the year is North Texas, and the girls are pumped up about that. It's one of our 4 regular season losses was North Texas. Then we'll play UTSA again. Second game on Saturday. Not play on Sunday, but come back with a Tuesday game against Lamar. So 5 big games in the next few days, and really ready to get the season started. We had 2 scrimmages over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I was kind of hoping it would really make it clear to me who our starting 9 was, and it actually got closer. I think we come out of the weekend with 13 players that really hit the ball well this weekend. The competition at third and the competition first, if anything, got tighter. It definitely didn't give us clarity on who that would be. So I think you can expect to see several different lineup combinations throughout this first weekend and give the kids all a chance to see what they do in actual competition against other universities. Pitching's good. Our pitchers are good. They're healthy. Catchers are healthy. We've got a few minor injuries going on. We've got a couple sore backs, probably from swinging too much in BP. And so we're just going to slow things down today and tomorrow and try to give them a good rest. And then we'll scrimmage a little bit on Wednesday, do a lot of hitting on Thursday, and open the season on Friday. So, any questions?
Do you kind of have in your mind, oh, I think I'm going to play this lineup in game 1 and this one in game 2 and 3, or is it kind of you're going to decide that in each game based on what happens in that game?
Yeah, actually, I've been working all night on trying to have a lineup for the first 7 games up into the LSU, and try to have a rotation where I can get each of these kids some looks, and whether I stick to it or not, depending on how well we play. But I'll have, on my desk, I've got the lineups I want for those 7 games. If we have a really close game and narrowly avoid a loss, or if we have a loss, then I'll probably go back to just playing who I think are the best 9 at that point. But I would like to think we've got enough depth this year, we've got enough quality players that we can give, much like in minor league ball or on spring training ball, where we give everybody a few at-bats this weekend that's in that consideration for a starting position. And I think we can, and that's what I plan on doing.
You mentioned it a little bit, I believe, last week, but just with non-conference, not only this weekend, but in a lot of the games that you have ahead, what is kind of the thought process and what is the most important thing to accomplish in this non-conference with all of the competition?
Yeah, I think what we have to do is the most important thing we can do is avoid an upset loss. If we lose this year, we want to lose to one of those 14 big games. But in those other 42 games, we need to go clean, and that's hard to do and almost impossible to do. But especially early in the year, if you look back last year, that North Texas loss probably really had an effect on whether or not we hosted a regional, and we want to avoid that. We want to try to really get off to a good start. I'd like to be, it'd be nice to be 7-0 when we play LSU and create that excitement in our ballpark, have a big game, and have a lot of momentum going into that game. At the same time, I want to be as fair as I can. I want to give us kids as much chance to show me what they can do. It's like I can guess at who's the best third baseman. I can guess at who's the best first baseman and put somebody out there. But if I do that and I eliminate the competition, I might be wrong. And I'd really like the kids to decide it by their play on the field.
I would ask up that's a lot of pressure, but obviously you were able to go clean in conference play last year. Do you feel like the girls embrace that not having those slip ups? I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of playing one good game at a time. Just every single game, be focused on that game, and if you can do that, and you have a lot of talent in your dugout, and you have, great competitors, you end up with that happening. But you don't shoot for that. We're not wanting to shoot for that. We want to play 28 or 27 regular season really good games in the Sun Belt, obviously. But as far as our overall record, we can't worry about that. We just have to go one game at a time.
What's the hardest part about this opening weekend?
It could be interesting. Ball State's got a pitcher at those 66, 67. That could be tricky on opening day. then North Texas, obviously, we had 3 hits last year against their right-hand pitcher that beat us. She's the preseason conference pitcher of the year. She's a sophomore this year. She got a little more experience. We had 3 hits, two strikeouts, and 1 walk. So we just didn't square anything up, and I think that's got to be the game that we really look forward to in batting practice on Thursday and prepare for, and hopefully we can show some improvement there against her on Saturday.
I just meant in general in terms of like your team just getting over that hurdle and getting things done.
I think it'll be setting a tone for the season as far as chemistry, people accepting their roles. They'll start to see a breakdown where, you know, they'll realize they're going to be rotated or platooned or maybe not even play much as the season begins. And as that becomes the clarity of that for each player, I want to see them handle it with a really mature attitude and a team-first attitude. That's our biggest challenge.
When you're setting position battles, how do you factor in the fact that maybe a kid doesn't practice great, but you just know, kind of like you said with Summer last week, that the kid's going to be a gamer no matter what?
Yeah, that's something that happens in sports, and it's really tricky. And you know, I tell the kids, don't tell me that. You know, I hear parents tell me that all the time. Like, if you just give her a chance in the game, you know, they'll compete better when the pressure's on. But I want pressure every day in practice. I mean, practice should create pressure, and the way you compete there should be similar to the way you do the game. The reality is we know there are circumstances. Another reason why I really want to give as many of those kids that deserve a chance to start and show me what they can do in a game. And by doing that, we'll create more depth when we have those injuries that we know are going to come later in the season.
How much does defensive play, though, going to decide, maybe not third or first, or any of these positions, or right field or whatever? So when you put again in the game, you don't even know if they're going to how many plays they're going to get. But could defensive play really be the thing that really separates some of these positions?
You know, throughout my coaching career, I've always said the best 9 hitters play, with the exception of shortstop and catcher. But the best 9 hitters are going to be on the field as much as I can. But I think when you've got the situation with Kleisty and Summer, 2 All-American pitchers, we know we've got a chance with good defense to hold our opponents down consistent to no runs, 1 run, 2 runs, keep the scores low scoring. And so that gives us the opportunity to really focus on defense, which could prepare us well for the championship run at the end of the season and postseason. So more than ever this year, I'll be aware of the defensive implications, and I'll be working. I think I've got a lot of confidence in our offense. So there'll be times when I don't put the best offensive lineup. I put the best defensive lineup out there. And I think it's really important when you know that Kleist is just trying to pitch to contact and get ground balls and let our defense do the work. So I think we'll see that a little bit more, where Summer's going to go up, get pop-ups and strikeouts. So especially when Kleist's on the mound, we're going to worry about defense.